horoscopes, guidance, and predictions for the month of March based on just your date of birth. That's what I talk about today. Hello everybody, I am Tina Chaudhary. Welcome to my channel and a very warm namaste. So today I'm going to make some predictions and give you some guidance what you could expect in the month of March. Now this is based on your date of birth, and in order to know which segment to watch, you need to know which personal year you're in 2022, and you need to know what personal year calculation this is for you. So if you haven't watched my prior series on the personal year calculation, you can either watch that. I made personal year predictions for 2022 based on your date of birth, so I can add a link to that video in my description box and at the end screen also, so you know which personal year 2022 is for you. Numerology believes that we go through a 9-year cycle, so based on numbers 1 through 9. So we're all in, or each one of us is in a particular number cycle at any given point in time or any given year, and but this is based on our calendar year. So 2022 started a new year cycle for each one of us, and this is based on your date of birth. So in order to know what year cycle you're in 2022, you need to know which personal year you're in. So in order to calculate your personal year, the quick lesson is you add your date of birth to the current year and you ignore the year you were born. So the way to do it is you add your date plus month plus 2022. So as an example, I'll show you how to do a quick calculation on a sample date. So, you can do yours if you haven't already done one. So as an example, let's say somebody was born on December 21st. And like I said, you ignore the year of birth. So you have to take the current year to figure out what personal year in 2022. So going back to the example, let's say somebody was born on December 21st. So you add 12 for December and 21st for the month, and then you add it to the current year, which is 2022. So you do 1 plus 2, December, plus 21. So another 2 plus 1 for 21, and then you add it to 2, 2, 2, which is 2022. So you can see the add. And so the answer comes up to 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, and that's equal to 12. So there is no number. Like I said, numerology believes in numbers 1 through 9. So when you get the result of 12, you have to reduce it to a single digit again. So you do 1 plus 2, and that's equal to 3. So this would mean that the person is in a personal year number 3. Okay, so now you can do your calculation of what personal year you're in 2022, and then listen to the predictions or the guidance accordingly. So because these are based on your personal year that you're in 2022. Now, you get the most precise results when you combine numerology with astrology. So each planet is also associated with a number. So when you combine the significations of the numbers with the planets in astrology, you get the most precise results, and that's what I do. So I'm going to do the predictions, and I'll mention the planets that are associated with each number, so you kind of get an idea. I know some of my regular viewers are probably wondering what happened to my beautiful outdoor background that I always film in and make my videos in. So I'm traveling. I'm not in Southern California today. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's very cold outside, so I couldn't film. So I'm going to make my video inside, and the background is a little boring. I'm sorry for that, but I really did want to make the video on my predictions, numerology predictions, because you guys love them so much. So that's what I'm going to do today. Also, one more announcement, that a couple of videos ago I had made an announcement that I'm going to pick one lucky winner at the end of February to do a one-on-one horoscope reading for them. So in order to do that, you had to go into my comments and just say free prediction, and you could put your birth, date of birth details. So the date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. But so that is still on. That giveaway is not done. So I had said that all my videos that I do in February are, eligible to participate in that giveaway. So if you haven't already done that in one of my prior videos in February, you can still do that in this video. So all you have to do is go in the comments and make sure you write free prediction and then your date of birth and your birth details. If you've already done that in one of my previous videos, I know people are doing it again and again, the same people. You don't need to do it again. But if the new people, I'm telling you, you have to do it. But you have to make sure you're a subscriber. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'm going to tell you now, subscribe to my channel, and then you can take part in the giveaway. And so the giveaway is one free 1 hour astrology reading that you can get with me. So I usually do them over the phone. But make sure you're a subscriber, because if I pick your name and you're not a subscriber, then you're eliminated and then I'll pick another name. Make sure that if you haven't already put in your comments, you can also do it for this video. So you can do it on any of my February videos. So this video also, you can do it. So make sure you do that if you want to win a free astrology consultation with me. Now let's explore the energy of Mars in general combined with the year 2022. So as I mentioned before in my videos, 2022 adds up to a 6. So it has the energy of Venus, and March is the third month, so 3 is signified by the planet Jupiter. Now, Jupiter and Venus are opposing energies. Jupiter was the guru of the teacher of the gods, and Venus was the teacher or the guru of the demons. And so combine the 6 and 3 and it results in a 9. So 9 is signified by the planet Mars, and Mars is a fighter planet. It's a planet of energy, action, and generally it's signified by it signifies the forces or people that fight, or fighter planet. It's a fighter planet, and so it's the commander-in-chief of a birth chart. So, and it's, of course, like I said, 3 and 6 are conflicting energies because they represent the heads of state of two very opposing forces. So even though Jupiter is a benefic planet, and they're both benefic planets in their own ways, but they oppose each other because they fight against each other. So, separately they're very good, but when they oppose each other, because they're opposing forces, when they oppose each other and they come together, they create the energy of Mars, which is a fighting or energy of aggression and ego and a battle or conflicting or a battle-like energy. So it doesn't forebode for a good energy for the whole universe, and we know what's happening in the world. It's there's a lot of conflict going on in the world. So March in 2022 does not signify a very good energy for the universe. It signifies conflicts, it signifies breaking of relationships, and it also signifies, like I said, conflicts and a battle of sorts, because Shukra, which is Venus, and Jupiter, Guru, Dev Guru, always battled with each other, because the demons always battled the gods, in the Hindu or the Vedic, mythology, I call it, but people can call it whatever they want to, but they always battled with each other. So it signifies the battle of the good against the evil. So it doesn't signify a very good or a positive energy for the universe. So that's basically the energy or the vibration that we have for March in 2022. Now March is not like that for every year, because you have to combine it with the energy of the year, which for 2022 it carries the signification of Venus. So this year, March does not look good for the world. Like I said, it's conflict, relationship breaking, and a lot of fighting. So in general, for all of us, it signifies that as well. And I've made a video a week or so ago, because there's 5 planets in Capricorn, and so we have to watch our relationships as well. So this is kind of the energy that we all are going to have to carry in March, where we watch our relationships. We don't battle with people that we care about, so we have to watch our relationships well. We don't have to fight with each other, and so because it carries that vibration and that energy. So this is just a general numerology prediction for the world, for the universe, and for all of us, but I'm going to do it now specifically for what your personal year is. So make sure you know what your personal year is. Please don't add the comments and ask me what is my personal year. I've already shown you how to calculate it. I'll add a video on how to calculate it, and then you watch for your whatever your personal year is, and then you watch the right segment for that and for your friends and family. And don't forget to share this video with friends and family. It's a great thing because I give you guidance on what is the best way to utilize the energy that the universe has for you based on your date of birth. It's really very accurate. I get a lot of feedback on how accurate it is. So if you follow it, it's actually very amazingly accurate and it works really well. I follow it very much too, not just because I know it, but because I think it works really well. So share with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And now I'm going to do some predictions. For people that are having a personal year number 1. So in a personal year number 1, this is the start of a new era. There's new beginnings, new projects. And now the month is 3, so it's Jupiter. So 1 is signified by the sun and Jupiter is, 3 is signified by Jupiter. So this is the month where March is the month for put your plan into action. Okay, so this is the start of something new and you need to put the wheels of your plan in motion. You need to think about, you've been thinking for 2 months of what is the new stuff that's coming in, what you need to do that's coming in, new beginnings, new projects, new jobs, new relationships, everything new is planned for this year. But March is specifically for when you need to put everything in action. Now for you, Jupiter is going to be, it signifies, the planet signifies growth and abundance. But this is the month where you need to make your plan and go after it and put it into action. This is not the month where you just sit down and keep thinking about what do I need to do, what do I want to do. That was last month. Now this is the month where you're going to have to just get up and start doing it. You need to work in your network circle. You need to reach out to people and put your plan into action. 1 + 3 = 4 and 4 is Rahu. So you almost need to become obsessed with your goal. Rahu represents goals and obsessions. You need to get obsessed with your goals. What do you want to do? And then put it into action. Like I said, this is not the month where you just sit quietly and wait for things to fall into your lap, because they won't. You need to get up and make it happen. And when you start moving around and doing things and putting things into action, putting things into motion of what you want and your goals, you'll see they start to materialize very quickly, because this is the month where they will start to materialize, because a 4 signifies goals achievement. So they will start to materialize. Now, these goals don't need to be just professional goals or career goals. These goals could be personal goals. In fact, this relates more to personal goals than it does professional goals. Now, personal goals could be goals related for your children. It could be goals related to your education, or something that you wanted to learn, a skill that you wanted to learn, or something that you wanted in your relationship, or something that you wanted to achieve for yourself. Jupiter is about gaining knowledge. Jupiter is about expanding your horizons or learning something new. It certainly signifies education. So if there's some goals were related to something like that, having children or dealing with children, something like that, this is a great month to start putting those into action. So by the end of March, when you've put all of these plans into action, you've started doing what you needed to do, you'll find that all the obstacles that you had prior have now been removed. Jupiter removes obstacles. So this month where you'll see that, something has happened and you've achieved something, and the obstacles may have started to get removed based on the actions that you have taken. So, or you should at the end of the month feel like, look, my plan has already started, something is going to move forward, and you're going to feel very satisfied by the end of the month. This is a good month. Take action, seize the opportunity, and put the plans into motion. If you're having a personal year number 2, this is the month where you are going to balance your emotions. Why? Because 2 is signified by the moon, and you're having a personal year 2, which means it's an emotional year for you. It's a year of emotional ups and downs for you. All kinds of emotions, good, bad, up and down, all the time. And now 3, Jupiter comes in, but Jupiter is a benefic planet, so it's a positive planet. So all these positive changes are coming, but 2 + 3 = Mercury, and Mercury is the game changer. It doesn't let you stay still for a minute. It's constantly moving. So you may find that this month things change very rapidly. Nothing is going to stay, status quo. All of a sudden, all these changes are coming, and they may be emotional changes. People may come from all sorts of places and ask you for help, emotional help. And you may get drawn into other people's drama or other people's negativity also. You need to filter through this month and say, well, do I really need to get involved in other people's issues, emotional issues, so to speak. And you're going to have to filter through this. Otherwise, you're going to get emotionally drained this month because of other people and all the emotional stuff that's going on very rapidly around you. It's an emotional month, but it may not be all your emotion. It could be emotion from other people and all sorts of outside influences that are going to be influencing your emotion. So you need to balance your emotion out, and you need to stay very focused and don't let Mercury take you up and down the roller coaster. This is a month where you use your own intellect and you own your own intelligence, and you figure out what is it that is going to make you happy and what is it that's going to keep you emotionally satisfied and stable, and then only go after it. You can only help certain people up to an extent, and before you get dragged into their drama and then it drags you down. Don't forget, personally, year number 2 is going to be an emotional year for you. But as long as you keep your emotions in check and you balance out your needs against others' needs, you're going to be okay. And then this month, there's going to be a lot of up and down, a lot of changes. So this is the month where you don't get dragged into other people's problems. You balance your own emotions. You try to make yourself happy. You try to find your own happiness and manage all these changes that come in through your own intelligence and own intellect. Otherwise, you get swayed in by this negative emotion or these changeable emotions all the time. Stay balanced and enjoy the month. You're having the personal year number 3. March is going to be the month about responsibilities and relationships. This is the month where you're going to learn about your relationships, the nature of these relationships, and your responsibilities towards these relationships. Why? Because Jupiter 3, month 3, so there's a double Jupiter, and 3 plus 3 is equal to 6, and 6 is Venus, which rules your relationships. This is the month where you're going to learn your role in your relationships. What do you mean to people, and what do people mean to you? Jupiter signifies learning, and it also signifies children and family. You're going to learn who you mean to your family and what the family means to you. And then you're going to take a fresh approach in how to deal with your responsibilities with your family, how to deal with them, and how to manage these responsibilities that may have been troubling you for a while. You're going to take a fresh look at responsibilities or your relationships and understand what you need to do in order to manage them better. This is the focus of this month, is all about family and learning. Jupiter signifies learning, and in this month you're going to learn about your relationships and your role in these relationships, especially with your children. Jupiter signifies children, and you're going to have to learn to manage your relationship with your children, or if they're very young, you're going to have to manage your role in bringing them up if they're very young. Or if they're grown children, you're going to have to learn how to manage your relationship with them as adults. One of the things that I can counsel people in this month is that you have to understand that everybody, whether they're any adult, even a small child, is actually responsible for their own happiness, and that you're not going to be responsible for everybody's happiness. If somebody's unhappy, if especially an adult is unhappy, it's mainly because a lot of things that they have done or they have chosen to do, and you only have a very small role, even though they may be family, that you maybe have only a small role to play in their unhappiness or their emotional sadness, so to speak. You can help them, and you should help them to a certain degree, but you can't accept full role responsibility for their unhappiness, unless of course you have that you've done something to them. But this month is all about introspection about your relationships. So I'm going to guide you to make sure you fully utilize this month to understand who you are within a relationship, not within the self, but who you are within your relationships, and what you mean to these relationships, and what you can do better to improve these relationships. Because in the last couple of months, you might feel that the relationships have deteriorated. So this is a good time for you to manage relationships and improve them, and understand how to do this. Jupiter will show you the path, because Jupiter is a benefic planet and it always shows you the right path. If you're having the personal year number 4, 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, and 4 is Rahu. You're already having a Rahu kind of year, which is the obsessive, compulsive year where you're so focused on goals. And here comes Jupiter, a Jupiter month. And then 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, and 7 is Ketu, the south node. And Rahu is the north node. So March is going to be a little bit of a Rahu Ketu, the node influence. The node influence is a little bit challenging to have because you're going to all of a sudden worry about nothing and everything. And these worries are going to be baseless, but you're going to find yourself worrying about things that you don't even know what you're worrying about. And that's because of the node influence, the Rahu and the Ketu influence. But don't forget, this is also a Jupiter influenced month. So you need to find the positivity within yourself and tell yourself, I'm worrying for no reason. There's really no reason to worry about. Or if you're still worrying, you need to go deep within yourself and ask yourself, what am I worrying about? Do I even have anything to worry about? Sometimes it's best to ask yourself when you're really worried and you're having a bad day, or you're just kind of frustrated and you're not pleased with yourself, is to ask yourself, what is really wrong in my life? And you may find that really nothing is that much wrong in your life and everything's going well, but you're just worried for no reason. And that's what this month is going to be, worried for no reason. This is a good month because the energy of 7, which is a south node, Ketu, is a good time to meditate or introspect within yourself and figure out what are your goals, and are they realistic goals, and are they goals that you can achieve, or are they self-centered, selfish goals, or are these goals where you self-destruct? Sometimes in a personal year 4, we kind of self-destruct because you get after the goals so much that you kind of make goals that are very self-destructive or actually harmful for you. Now, in a Jupiter month, it's a very good time to introspect because Jupiter gives you the wisdom to understand, are these goals good for me? Are these goals the best goals that I should have? So it's a good time to introspect. It's a good time to meditate. It's a good time to go within yourself and ask yourself, what are the goals that I've set up for myself? What are the paths that I've set up for myself? Is this the best path for me? And is this the path that's going to really lead me to where I need to be in the long run? Next year is going to be a hardworking, a very changeable month or year for you. And you need to set yourself up for that. Don't set yourself up for disaster this year in a personal year number 4 by messing up your goals and what you want to set up for yourself. This is a good month for introspection and setting up your aspirations and desires in the correct way. Use this energy wisely, introspect, and do lots of meditation because that's when the truth will come to you. Meditation doesn't always mean focusing on the divine or sitting in front of a god or in a temple or some religious place. Meditation also means just sitting there with your eyes closed and thinking about what makes you happy and what works for you. That's a good meditation that you can do this month. Think about yourself, introspect about yourself, and think about your goals. Maybe rethink about your goals that you need to do this year. If you're having a personal year number 5, you're already having a year that's fast moving and changes are happening. Things are changing all around you. And now you have March coming with the energy of Jupiter. Now, 5, which is a personal year number 5 is signified by Mercury. Mercury never sits still, it's constantly moving. But Jupiter likes Mercury because when Jupiter sits next to Mercury, it calms it down a little bit because Mercury respects Jupiter a lot. And Jupiter is a guru. So Mercury is the little child, and then here comes Jupiter and tells it to calm down a little bit, settle down, and think good things. So it's a benefic time for you. This is a month where you can actually manifest whatever you want because 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. 8 is Saturn, and that's your career and that's your profession. You can actually do a lot of manifestation in March. What a great time this is for you. Where also one more thing that you can do is Mercury is your communication and Jupiter is benefic. It gives you its blessing. So based on your positive communication, based on reaching out to friends and family, don't forget Mercury is your people and the people around you also. You can reach out to people and do your presentations, present yourself well, and it is the month that you could get rewarded in your career. You could get whatever you want. So that's why I call it the month of manifestations. But it's on you. They won't just fall in your lap. You have to make that effort. That effort could be hard work, because 8 Saturn is hard work. It could be wonderful communication levels, and it could also be presentation. It could be how you present yourself. It could be how you do the hard work. So all those things are the keys to your manifestation. You can get what you want. You could be rewarded with what you've been looking to get rewarded for a long time in your career. Make sure you communicate well, because this could also damage a lot of things in your career. So communication is going to be very key all year for Mercury, but especially for this month, because it impacts 8, which is your career. So make sure you communicate at work very, very well. And Jupiter also is, signifies gurus, and it doesn't really signify your superiors at work, but sometimes they're your teachers also in a way. So mentors, teachers signifies them. So make sure you communicate well with them, and make sure you get ready for the rewards, because this is going to be based on your hard work. There may be some opportunities that come up in March for you. Make sure you think about them, you think about it in detail, and you really think through them carefully before you say yes or no to these opportunities. Think through them carefully. Jupiter's on your side. It gives you good thinking ability. So make sure you think through these things before you say yes or no to these opportunities. And Jupiter is going to give you that confidence, and it's going to give you the intelligence to make the right decisions. If you're having a personal year number 6. Now, 6 is governed by Venus, so this year has already been all about relationships, and that's what the focus and the theme is going to be. Now, here comes March, and signifies the energy of Jupiter. Now, as I said before in my video, Jupiter is the guru of the gods, and Venus, which is number 6, is the guru of the demons. So they signify opposing elements, and they signify a conflict within ourselves. The 3 plus 6 is equal to 9, which signifies 9 is signified by Mars. And Mars is the soldier. It signifies the battlefield and the anger and the battle within, or fighting. It signifies fighting. It's the commander-in-chief or the army general of a birth chart. So Mars always signifies the ending of certain things, which is 9 is the last number of the 1 through 9 series. So it always signifies the end of something. So this is the month where you're going to have to end the internal conflict relating to relationships, that things that are going on inside you, or things that are going on with relationships that you're conflicted with. You're going to have to end that in some way. If you've had some issue going on with some relationship that you were torn with, or that you felt that didn't end well, this is the month where you're going to have to either end it in some way, or go back, revisit it, and then end it in some way. So this month signifies endings. It's also a good time to reach into your past, and if there was certain things that you felt it wasn't closure, this is the month where you need to put closure to a lot of things. This month signifies closure of a lot of unclosed or unfinalized things in the past as it relates to people and relationships. This has troubled you. This is going to trouble you all year if you don't do that. You need to reach out to those people and finally find a solution to those kind of things. Also, this month might be where you're feeling guilty about certain things. It's all about guilt, and that's what this whole year has, that theme where it's all about relationships. Do you feel happy? Do you feel guilty? Do you feel pleased, about decisions that you've made in the past, or how you've handled things in the past? But this is the month where you need to just reach out and get it over with. Otherwise, they're going to trouble you for the rest of the year. And that's why this month has come about, is it says to reach out to whatever it is that you need to do and get closure. So this month is about some aspect of your life that really needs to be closed in order for you to find peace within yourself. So it usually relates to relationships, because the whole year is about relationships. You might have an incident that's very emotional for you, or a relationship matter that's very emotional for you, very traumatic in some way for you, or it could be an incident that's very happy for you. So you need to go through that process, but usually because of the energy of Mars. It's something that's going to have to close out this month. So, take this advice, do whatever it is that you need to handle your relationships the best way you could have. If you've made mistakes in the past, you need to correct them. If there's other things in your relationships that you need to, come clean with, you need to do that. This is the month has come for a certain reason, so you can be at peace with yourself as far as relationships are concerned. Utilize this energy well. If you're having a personal year number 7, now 7 is signified by the south node, which is Ketu, and then March comes around, is the third month, so that's Jupiter. And then 7 plus 3 is equal to 1, which is 1 is the sun. So this is a very interesting month. So Ketu also signifies spirituality or the self, exploring your own spirituality, what's within you. It's also a year of isolation and knowing what, all about you, introspection. And the sun is also signifies the soul, our own soul. So it's a month of getting to know yourself, but in a very different way. And not in a negative way, but in a really positive way. You know all about yourself. You introspect in a very positive way. You learn that there's a very powerful energy that that's emerging within yourself in this year, where and Jupiter gives you this blessing of knowing yourself. Jupiter rules your wisdom or your knowledge, and so it's teaching you about yourself. It's teaching you how dependent or how independent can you be? How much do you depend on other people, or how much does other people's opinions, do you value? Why do you even value them? Why aren't you more important to yourself than other people? Like, what makes you happy? Why isn't that the most important thing? What does it matter what other people think that should make you happy? Or what is it that makes you what do you want to wear? What do you want to eat? Where do you want to go and enjoy yourself? What do you do for fun and enjoyment? What does it matter what other people think you should wear, eat, or do for fun and enjoyment? This is all about you. And then all of a sudden you're feeling good about yourself, because you know what? You're realizing that, the sun's energy, or the sun, the soul, that's you. That's what makes you different. That's why everybody's different. Everybody doesn't have to do the same thing or like the same things. God created, or the divine created all of us, billions and billions of people. If he wanted everybody to be the same and do the same things, why would he create so many people? He could have just created one person. That's why we're diverse. And you're going to realize this month where you realize your own importance. That's the best way I can say it, is you realize your own importance in a very beautiful way. And this is the month where Jupiter teaches you this knowledge, and you sit and you introspect, and all of a sudden you realize you're the most important person in your own life. Very few people think like that. I'm not saying that everybody should just become selfish and then not care about other people. But when you think and you care about your own self is how you can care about other people. When you don't care about yourself, it's hard to care about other people. It's hard to value other people because you don't value your own self. You don't care about your own body. You don't care about how you feel. How are you going to care about other people? I've always thought about things like that. I care about myself. That's why I care about other people, because I know how others feel. So this is the month where Jupiter teaches you this. It's a beautiful month, and I want you to enjoy this beautiful energy so much and learn about yourself and feel good about yourself. It's a feel-good month. It's all about yourself, and it's all about you feeling good about yourself. Now, Ketu always does, though, give some sudden events, and so let it give you the sudden events, and make sure you're not frightened about them. Make sure they're there to teach you certain things about ourselves. When events happen all of a sudden, which the nodes always like to give us, it's okay. That's just destiny taking over, and it's just us learning to deal with it. And so I always tend to tell people when I do consultations, so what if there's a sudden event? That's wonderful. This new energy that's all of a sudden comes up, learn to enjoy it, learn to manage it, and then just be flexible and enjoy it. So it could be new opportunities, it could be new things, but things all of a sudden can happen, and I think you should just learn to manage it, because you're coming into this person year number 7, and you're learning all about yourself. So enjoy this beautiful month, and if there's a sudden event or something happens, go with the flow and manage it. If if you're having a personal year number 8. So you're already having a year number 8 that is ruled by Saturn, and that means hard work, responsibilities, and discipline. And now here comes March. It has energy of 3 and Jupiter, and so that's a wonderful combination, because Jupiter, as you know, and Saturn do work really well together. Jupiter is abundance, growth, opportunities, giving, it's blessing. And so when you put in the hard work, and you expect some reward in return, so you can expect that. But then 3 plus 8 is equal to 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2, so 2. So that's moon energy, and that's your emotions. So this month you might find that you're putting in all this hard work and you're expecting all this growth, and then there's going to be some emotional impact on you. You may feel dissatisfied, or you may feel other people around you are impacting your emotion in some way. Maybe you're not getting what you wanted, and then you're taking it out on other people, or forcing other people to do things because you're working hard and now you want everybody to do certain things. That's not the month for this. This month has the energy of 2, which is moon. And so 2, signifies relationships. Not relationships so much. I misspoke. I meant partnerships. So partnerships. So it's telling you that this is not the month you fly solo and this is all about you and your career and your projects and your work. This is about teamwork. This is the month where if you expect to get any rewards or recognitions, it's going to be because you're working as a team, not alone. So the key word is to do things in teamwork. You have to respect other people at work. You have to make sure you work with them. You get their input. You work as part of a team, not just by yourself. You can't force other people to do, they may not be having a personal year number 8. You are. So you're working in a certain energy. You're working with dedication and hard work and discipline. They could be having a personal year number 5 or 6, and they're focused somewhere else. So you can't force other people to think and behave like you. They're having a different energy theme, this year. So don't force issues. Try to work with them, and that's what's going to get you the reward. So that's the little remedy I'm telling you. That's the ticket. That's the little sensitive part that I'm telling you, is how do you get the reward and the recognition, is by working as part of the team. Whether it's at home, whether it's at work, you need to stay connected with everybody at all times. This month is not just about you and you alone. This month is all about your team, your people at home, people at work, and how they're supporting you and how you're supporting them. Remember, it's still a hardworking month. So it's still saying that, it's number 8, your Saturn needs to be good. You need to work hard and all that, but you need to keep your emotions in check. Don't go off on people because, they upset you. So this is all about emotions. Even if you're having a little up and down in emotions, you're happy, you're sad, you're mad, you're angry, all of these emotions, you need to balance your emotions out if you're going to get some rewards from Jupiter. So it's a good month. Balance out those emotions and don't boss those people around. Work as part of a team. You're having a personal year number 9. 9 has the energy of Mars, and then March is 3, so 3 is Jupiter. So 9 plus 3 is equal to 12. 1 plus 2 is 3 again. So this is a double Jupiter plus Jupiter, and then the energy of Mars. So you're already having a personal year number 9, which signifies the ending, the close out of things, getting rid of what doesn't work for you, figuring out what is no longer needed in your life. So you're already having that energy, the theme of this year. Now here comes Jupiter this month in March, and Jupiter gives you that wisdom or the information or the knowledge to just understand what doesn't work in your life. And this is the month where you take action, on the bigger things. Jupiter speaks about big things, not the little things, not about cleaning out your closet, not about, throwing out old shoes. This is about the bigger things in life where you feel, this relationship doesn't work for me. This job doesn't work for me. The bigger things in life. What is not working for you? And so Jupiter will counsel you and say, this doesn't work for you. This is keeping you blocking you. It is giving you guilt. This also talks about a little bit about guilt and the fact that it may have been holding you back in all of these big things. So Jupiter counsels you, get rid of the guilt. As long as we have this guilt within us, we're not ready to close out. And so this is the month where you're going to take action. And it says, you know what, as long as you're going to get buried under guilt, you're never going to uncover the deep happiness that's underneath it. Guilt always piles on to the happiness that's underneath it. So Jupiter will tell you, look, if you want to be happy, you're going to get rid of these layers and layers of unhappiness, of guilt that you're sitting with. So Jupiter tells you this month is where you're going to take action. You're going to take action and finally understand, look, I need to move on. I need to close out things that don't work out in my life. And I'm not going to be guilty about that because I deserve to be happy. And so this is the month where you take action. This is also about you making sure that you put whatever it is that you plan to do is in action. The things that you need to close out, this is where you're going to take action. Don't just sit back and think about what you're going to do. This is the time when you're going to actually do it. Think about everything that is no longer working for you, that's contributing to the sadness. Your next year is going to be a beautiful new beginning. It's the start of a new era for you. You're going to have a personal year number 1, but you can't really have new beginnings until you keep all this mess, the clutter, the emotional clutter in your life going on. So this is the year where you're going to have to figure out what doesn't work for you. What is the emotional clutter in your life? What contributes to the sadness in your life? And start cleaning it out. Conclude the projects, conclude the relationships, conclude whatever doesn't work for you. Figure it out and just conclude it and do it and feel so much happier. At the end of the month, you'll be just feeling so light and so happy, and that's what you should be. By the end of March, you should feel so much lighter, so much happier, guilt-free, and actually a little more happier. And with this, I come to the end of my video. Stay safe, and I will see you on my next video, and goodbye for now.